What's your full name?
My full name is Mallagowda Revanavar. You can just call me with my first name, Mallagowda.
Okay. So Malagowda, what do you do?
After I graduated in 2017, I was working as a staff nurse in a reputed hospital in Pune. But currently, I'm working as a tutor in Apollo College of Nursing, Hyderabad.
Okay. Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, to some extent, I could say yes, because the work atmosphere is very nice and the colleagues are very friendly. And
Okay.
most importantly, the institute has provided me the accommodation inside the campus, which is very cool, calm, and peaceful. So I do enjoy my work and staying here.
Great. If there's one thing which you'd like to change in your job profile, what could that be?
Well, there is nothing to change, I should say. But if I must say, then I could say the people who are over 60 are still working in the hospital and the institute, because the people who are retired in the government institutes are working in the private, so they should provide the chances to the youngsters, I guess.
Okay. All right. Where's your native place?
Well, I come from a place called Belgaum, that is located in the northwestern part of the Karnataka.
Okay. What is that one thing that you like about your native place?
There are so many things I like about my hometown, but the best thing I love about my home, what I love most about my hometown is the climate. It is not very freezing cold or boiling hot in summer or freezing cold in the winter. It has a moderate temperature with the average humidity and receives an average rain of 500 centimeters per year, which is very good for farming as well as living. And so that is the thing I love about my hometown.
Okay. Let's talk about some future aspects. What job would you like to have 10 years from now and why?
Well, I look myself forward to be an anesthesiologist in 10 years, because I always dreamed of being a doctor, but due to some circumstances, I couldn't get the medical seat after my 12th. So I would go for lateral medical degrees. So I see myself working as an anesthesiologist in Canada or USA in 10 years.
Okay. How useful will English be for your future and why?
As I said before, I look forward to work in abroad where the English is the primary language. So in order to communicate with the native people and to be successful in my career and workplace, so I must learn English. I'm sure, I'm aware of that. Apart from that, English is very important in everyone's life in the world nowadays, because it has become a global language, and most of the countries use it as official language. So it is very useful.
All right. How much traveling do you hope to do in the future? Why? Why not?
Could you please repeat the question?
How much traveling do you hope to do in the future?
Well, I'm a kind of person who always likes to travel and explore new places. So, to I would like to travel a lot in the future. I am looking forward to go abroad for a single reason, that I can explore more cultures and the places. So I think I will travel enough to satisfy my urge of curiosity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think your life will change? Sorry, my bad. How do you think your life will change in the future?
Uh, It has already changed drastically, rapidly. It is still changing compared to the previous last 10 years. In the future, maybe technology might get more sophisticated, and we are already living in a post-industrial era where everything is controlled by electronics, and people are more uh, dependent on the technology. So it might make the living so easier, but I would say we should not be very much dependent on it. but the future is going to be more sophisticated, I should say.
Okay. I'm sharing this part two with you right now. If you have a
Okay.
pen and paper with you, if you need to take notes, if required, you can take the
Okay.
notes. The question will be right in front of you for a minute, and then you have to speak for 2 minutes at least, 1.5 to 2 minutes of time. Okay, the
Okay.
question will be displayed now.
I'm not seeing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Express. Suspense thriller detective. Uh,
You can start in another 10 seconds.
okay.
Now,
Okay. I read a lot of books. I have a habit of reading books every now and then, and whenever I get free time. So, but one book I really wanted to talk about now is The Murder on the Orient Express. It is a suspense thriller by the author Agatha Christie. I have read many more books from Agatha Christie, but this one has made me really think about why it is that way. This book was written in the 1900s, but it still represents the current events, and people also say that it has helped some detectives to solve some crime cases. The plot goes as uh, sorry, pardon me. Okay, I decided to read it not because it is just a popular book, but also that I like suspense thrillers as well as some the books who made us think a lot, and
mhm,
that initiate the curiosity in us about the society and the
mhm.
thoughts of the people. So I just saw it in a bookstall, and I was not intended to take it, but I just took it because it it impressed me by the stories I heard before. So one thing that was very interesting in the book was the crime detective Mr. Beirut was when he was investigating a murder case that happened on a train. So the story was taking turn every after every page. So I thought to go through it till the end. So it made me sit in a place until I finish it. So the most enjoyable thing in it was the way that the detective manipulated all the people to bring out the crime. So finally it ended up in ended up like all the people on the board were involved in a single crime which was related to the past where innocent was killed, and it was a story of revenge. So such kind of stories usually uh, bring a spark in the current detectives.
Okay. When did you read this book?
I read it in 2019 July, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. What are the most popular types of children's books in your country?
Well, oh, I'm not aware. It might be difficult for me to answer because while I was kid, there were different books, and I was not very much interested to read books when I was young. So nowadays, I think it has changed, and maybe some animated books and stories from the Japan might be popular, such as Naruto or some something like that.
Okay. What are the benefits of parents reading books to their children?
Well, we all know that home is the first school. So parents should mold the futures of the children by making them read and suggesting the right books. And most importantly, children do not listen to what parents say. They copy what they do. So it's better they sit and make them read so they can have a good thoughts about the future and be knowledgeable to decide what is right and what is wrong, because reading books gives a lot of knowledge.
Mhm. Should parents always let children choose the books they read?
uh, I have a mixed opinion about this, because sometimes the interest of the children and the parents differs. So we can't force, the parents can't force the children to choose what they have to read. For
Mhm.
example, some children are interested in science, and the parents can't force and or enforce the social science on them. Or sometimes the parents have to choose, because there is a chance that children don't know what they are interested in. They are just about curiosity, and they can choose the wrong books that may lead to the wrong decisions and wrong improper socialization of children. For example, I have seen an example where one of my friend used to read a lot of crime books, and he ended up joining the underworld and committed some crimes. So he thought that being a bad person is a heroic thing, as it is shown in the movies.
Okay. So, how popular are electronic books in your country?
Well, I would say they are not much popular, at least not yet, because people would like to read the books on the paper, because it gives a sense of satisfaction when you read on the books. But when we read
Mhm.
on a screen, it does not always reflect what it is intended to. So apart
Mhm.
from this, there are, I have seen some people always staying on the computers who can't carry the books all the way. So some people who travel more or work more time on the screen, they would
Mhm.
like to read the ebooks.
Okay. What are the advantages of parents reading electronic books as compared to the printed books?
Well, parents usually, I don't think parents have much time to read the books. But
Mhm.
I have never seen a parent reading a book. But if they read, that would encourage the children to follow their path.
Mhm.
So more and more people are turning towards the computers and ebooks nowadays. So in the future, there might be a crisis of paper, as we are
Mhm.
seeing in the Sri Lanka right now.
Mhm.
So there might be, we can save enough trees and the to in order
Mhm.
to, sorry, pardon me. So we can reduce, save some trees by
Mhm.
reducing the books on papers. So
Mhm.
that might be an advantage, I would say. Apart from this, I don't see much advantages of parents
Okay.
reading ebooks.
Will electronic books ever completely replace printed books in the future?
No, I don't think ever the electronic books, the ebooks replace the printed books, as I said before. So not all people find it very comforting or satisfying to read on the computer. And for some people who don't know how to manage the ebooks and save them, it might be a confusing thing. And so I don't think ebook can completely replace the electronics, sorry,
Okay.
uh, traditional conventional books.
Okay. Thank you. That's the end of your test.